Nice, we're gonna get outside, go for a sweet ride, get some good training in. Well, looks like the trainer it is. So with how the US race calendar is set up, January tends to always be a really big month of training for pretty much everybody. And if you're here in the Midwest, the weather is obviously a huge factor on getting outside or what you can do. And this year I've actually been in Iowa a lot longer than I have in years past, making Zwift even more valuable for me. And it's just a great tool and a good way to kind of stay motivated and make the trainer somewhat fun for the most part. So we got a nice couple hours of training to put in today, so let's get after it. Here are some important things that I always use to have success on the trainer that I think a lot of people can follow as well and have similar outcomes. A good fan setup. When riding indoors, there's no airflow or no air movement, which means it's super easy to overheat while riding indoors. And when this happens, your heart rate will begin to elevate and your power will start to drop, which this is a good thing if you're trying to do actual heat training or heat acclimation, but for most, they're not concerned with that and are just trying to get through another training session while hitting the right numbers and effort levels. So make sure you have a good fan setup, or even you're close to a door or window where you can crack it or open the door while still riding and kind of get some extra air movement in there and some cool air if you're riding in the winter. I always think that helps. Next, I think having a good warm-up routine is super important. I try and pick a loop somewhere on Zwift that I know will take me, roughly 30 to 40 minutes per loop, and I like to get in a big warm-up, especially if I have intervals, because not only do I perform better, but it helps make the time go by a little faster when you do an hour warm-up or an hour and a half warm-up and then you do an hour of intervals. It's really easy to kind of crank out the last 30 or 40 minutes and makes for a big ride on the trainer, which I know a lot of people don't have time for that, but I think just having an important warm-up routine or something that you stick with regularly will really translate to a lot of success in training and on the bike. Next, change up your effort levels. This is something that can be done, like I was just saying, with intervals or even doing some Zwift races. Static riding on the trainer gets really boring, and so I think it's really important to change it up every couple of minutes, whether you're doing an endurance ride, maybe start doing 10 or 20 watts more just for a couple minutes, or go a little harder up some of the KOMs or some of the sprints. Nothing crazy or all out, but just a good way to kind of keep you mentally involved and motivated and engaged with Zwift while on the trainer is something that's just super important and will really help in your training and help save you some mental stress while sitting indoors and riding in place. Next, stand. I think too many people sit for too long, especially indoors. Stand up and give your butt and your knees a break, and get out of the saddle every couple of minutes as well will help break up the static movement when riding in the trainer. Your bike's not moving at all side to side like it would be outdoors, so your bike's really rigid, and your body, most people, they're gonna sway side to side when pedaling, but your bike's staying put, and outdoors your bike would be moving with you. So make sure to stand up, and it'll really help, with like preventing saddle sores, and just give your butt a nice break. Next, build a playlist that suits the style of riding you're doing. I think it's important to have some tunes that you like and ones that are going to get you going and feeling energetic while warming up. And for intervals, maybe play something that gets you fired up and motivated to crush some watts. Also, I think podcasts are a great way to help distract your mind. You can see here I have the Zwift Companion app up, but also I'm listening to Under the Sun with Coach Tim Hall, and on this episode he's actually interviewing Kerry Warner, who I also went to college with, so it's a great way to distract me from the trainer. If you have to do, some longer rides or even some easy rides, as for me those are some of the hardest rides on the trainer mentally, is just, you're you're barely doing any power and you're kind of just sitting there spinning, but you know, it's important to training, and getting those in is just as important as the interval days. All right, so I'm a little over halfway in. See, just ridden over a little over an hour and 10 minutes, and I'll probably do like 2.5, but I think it's important to get off every like hour or so, every hour and a half. I usually schedule in some sort of break so I can go, whether it be refill bottles or get more food. Usually I have to go to the bathroom by then because I've had too much coffee. So I think it's a great way to break up your ride and also help you stay on top of nutrition and staying hydrated as well. Okay, so we got the workout done, and as you can see from my Zwift log on the desktop site, I've been putting a lot of good quality work in on the trainer, and you know, it's something that's going to transfer really well to the road, as the trainer definitely makes you strong. So just always have that in the back of your mind when you're suffering on the trainer and trying to get through it, and just know that the light is at the end of the tunnel and you can make it. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. That's all we've got today. I hope you guys found this video useful with some tips and training ideas to help you make the trainer and Zwift a little bit easier. We'll see you guys next time, and thanks again for watching.